Hey guys, and what's going on? My name is Bram and welcome to this new Flutter SDK tutorial. Now the topic for today will be text input, so let's take a look at our example app. So we got a basic text field, and every time I write something in it, for example Flutter, I will capture this string, this text, and I will display it in a text widget. Awesome. So I can also add some more text, and that text, once submitted, will also be concatenated to this string and will also be displayed. Cool. So let's start off by creating a new project and typing out our main method. So this app will be a material app, so let's pass in a new material app. And let's create our class, our stateful widget. So let's call this my text input, and this will be extending our stateful widget. So let's type out our boilerplate for stateful widgets. So my text input state, create state, we'll make a new instance of my text input state. Awesome. Now let's create our state. So create a new class, call it my text input state, and this will be extending the state class. And now we should override our build method. So let's say widget build context, and let's return a new scaffold. Whoops. Scaffold. Awesome. Let's now display our new widget on the screen by passing the my text input widget in our home property. And let's run our app. Cool, so once that is done, we can start building our layouts. So let's go in our scaffold and let's create an app bar. So new app bar. The title will be something like input text. And let's give it a new color, so background color, and this will be deep orange. Cool, let's now build out our body. Our body is going to have a container, and this container is going to have a child, which is going to be a new center. This new center is also going to have a child, which is going to be a new column. And this column is going to have some children of type widget. Awesome. So in an example app, we had a basic text field. So let's create that. And we also had a text widget. So let's just add a empty string for now. And in text field, let's add some decoration. Let's say new input decoration. And this has a property called hint text, which is basically going to be the hint for our text field. And this takes a string. So let's say something like type in here. Awesome. Let's now refresh our app. And now we got our basic text field. Of course, we also got our text widget, but it's displaying an empty string, so that's why we are not seeing it. Let's also center this text along the main axis. So main axis alignment dot center. Awesome. Let's refresh, and that should be centered. Cool. So of course we can start typing in our text field right now, but there is no way for us to capture this text, so it's pretty useless. Now there's a few ways to capture text. One way is to listen to unchanged, and unchanged is called whenever a new something happened to the text field. So for example, when I add a character, delete something, etc. So this takes a function and has some arguments. It has a string, which will be the text in our text field. And in here, we can set the state. Let's do that. And now we can re-render our widget. Now, of course, we have no place to store this string in our text field yet, so let's create a new variable. Let's call this results, and let's make this an empty string. Cool. So in our set state, let's assign results to our new string. So let's review this one more time. Unchanged is called whenever we add something or delete something in the text fields. It takes a string, and this string will be the text in the text field. Now, every time we notice that our text field changed, we are going to set the state, and we are going to assign the text in the text field to the result. Now let's actually print out our results on the screen by providing it in our text widget. Let's now refresh. And let's now type something. And that's working perfectly fine. Now there's also another way. Instead of unchanged, we can also call onSubmitted. And this will also take a function with a string, which will be representing the text in the text widget. Now in this function, let's set the state again. And let's assign results to that string again. What's wrong? So we are forgetting something, so let's try that again. Oh, we deleted a bracket too much. So let's do that again. Let's say onSubmitted. This will take a string. And let's set the state every time we submit the text. And let's say result will be our string, and the string will be the text in the text field. Let's refresh our app. And now every time we type something out and we submit it, we will see it on the screen. Cool. Now, we also want to delete this text in the text field whenever we submit something. So to do that, we actually need a text editing controller. So let's create that. It's going to be a final text editing controller, and let's call this controller. And this will be a new text editing controller. Now, a text editing controller basically allows us to control the text in a text field. So for example, I could use this controller every time I submit something. And let's say every time I submit something, I want to say controller.text equals empty string. So let's take a look. Let's type something in here. Let's say text. Let's submit that. Whoops, so that did not work. So let's try to do that in our set state. Let's refresh. Oops. Let's take a look. Text. Let's submit. Oops, and that is not working, so let's take a look. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, of course, it's not working because we actually need to assign this controller to this text field. So to do that, we can, text field has a property called controller, and now we can assign our controller. Cool. So let's try that again, and that should be working. Text. Let's submit this. Awesome. So now, of course, once we put something new in the text field, we are overriding this string. So we could basically do something like in set state. Let's keep our old string and let's just concatenate. Let's just add a new line and concatenate the text field string. Let's refresh. Say cool. And let's say away or something. Awesome. So that's working. And that's basically the tutorial for today. I really hope you guys enjoyed, and I see you guys in the next video. Bye.